What's going on, Weekend Hangover Nation? I'm your boy Surf, and we are back once again. I'm here with the boy Preach. What's going on, Preach?
What is going on, crew?
What's going on, man? All right, we did a segment earlier called Offensive Draft Sleepers. Now we're hitting it with the defensive side. Preach, I'm going to lead off here. And I'm going to start out with a cornerback by the name of Hamp Cheevers out of Boston College. He's a tiny guy. He's only 5'9", 169 pounds. He ran a 4.52 at the combine, and he had 7 interceptions his junior season, which was last year at Boston College. 39 tackles, 8 pass deflections. He's small, weight and height, which is only going to limit him to the slot. But he's got a natural nose for being around the ball. He's really good at jumping routes, and also excels at, for some reason, with pass deflections, he just seems to outjump everybody, as small as he is. Now, because he's tiny, he has trouble with the press. He's not very good at pressing it in. He just gets beat up around the line. So that's Champ Cheevers, man. I like him. I like a tiny guy to play the slot. No problem there at all.
Ain't nothing against the short guys, you know.
Hey, we have no discrimination here at Weekend Hangover against short guys. You guys heard it here. All right, Preach, who you got, man? Who's your number one sleeper?
I got Anthony Nelson from Iowa. He's 6'7", 271. Now, he's not the best pass rusher out there. And he happens to, on his initial pass rush, if he doesn't get in, he seems to play the lane. But I think that gets him out of trouble. I think that's why he's getting most of his tackles from, is because he plays the lane. If he finds a good situation team, I hate to say someone like the Patriots or Seattle or something like that, where you don't need that initial rush, you can kind of just have that high motor. I think he fits great there. But in 2018, even though he plays the lane, he still had 9.5 sacks. Isn't that bad?
Ooh, nice.
You know, the year before he had 7.5 and then 6. So he still puts up a decent amount of sacks. And he had 23 solo tackles on top of that. That's not bad for somebody who doesn't have an initial pass rush. And someone that's going real late also, so...
Quick question for you, Preach. Is he able to play end and linebacker or just end?
The way I look at him, I think he could just play in. If he drops some pounds, maybe, he may be able to play that outside linebacker, but I don't think he's that fast to play that outside linebacker. That's why I would personally just keep him as the end in the 4-3.
Nice. Okay. All right. I'll handle the next one. I got Blake Cashman, who's a middle linebacker out of Minnesota. Now, he's a tiny guy, man, but it seems like the NFL, certain defenses seem to like the Mark Barons of the world, you know, so he's 6 foot, 237.
How many of those have worked out, by the way?
A couple of them worked out, man. A couple of them worked out. Eagles got 2 of them in their linebacking core. And Grugier Hill looks like he might be the starting middle linebacker for him, one of his safety converts. Now, Cashman was not a safety. He walked on as a linebacker. He ran a 4.5 at the combine, which is really fast for a linebacker. And he had in 2018, he had 62 solo tackles. He had 15 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, 5 pass deflects, and 1 forced fumble. I like doing the solo tackles because college, for some reason, they hook you up with those assists, man. If you're within 5 yards, it seems like you get those all the time. But at least you know with a solo tackle, he's bringing the guys down himself.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a Swiss Army knife. I like his story because he walked on in Minnesota, and it took him 2 years to get a scholarship, and by the time he was a senior, he was a team captain. So he worked his tail off, and he's used to being a bit of an underdog, which I like, man. Anyway, so he has injury concerns. He had shoulder surgery on both shoulders at the end of this year. And because he's such a small guy, he has a little bit of trouble disengaging from blocks. But like I said, he's got a high motor, which I really like.
Doesn't sound like it's too bad. Me personally, I like a guy who can get off a block, but certain schemes he could fit in pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, I'm gonna go on to my next guy. I understand this guy is not a super late draft pick. He's still going top 25, top 30. He's still going in the first round. But the reason why I mark him as my sleeper, and you can count this as whatever, I think he should be the best corner or slash safety in this year's draft. He reminds me so much of my one of my favorite safeties in Malcolm Jenkins. Chauncey Gardner Johnson. He is, first off, the fact that he could play corner and safety to me is tremendous. The fact that he has so much range, he comes down and lays the hit whether he's playing safety or corner. That's more than what Greedy and a lot of these other corners can do. There's a couple of plays that I was watching him. He was playing corner, but he had the range because he's used to playing safety to come across the other side of the field and still make the pick. I mean, he was a good about 20 yards away and still had the range to come around and get the pick. I absolutely love this kid. I'm telling you right now, I think he's going to be so amazing. If your Eagles get him, I will be pissed because I hate the fact that you would have Jenkins and him. That would kind of piss me off. But I'm telling you right now, I think this is the reason why I think he's a sleeper, because I think he's the best corner slash safety in this year's draft.
Wow, nice. I like positional versatility with elite status.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Be a nice bird.
The fact that you brought both to the table, not just the versatility, but you also bring the stats to the table. Like any 6 foot 207, not bad size either to take that pounding.
Yeah, it's not bad, man. He'd come down and stick somebody in a box would be.
And by the way,
man.
this is how great ball handling he has. All right, he had 4 picks, and 2 of those picks went for touchdowns. Just throwing that out there.
Cool, taking him to the house, man.
Taking him to the house.
We always like
when
that.
When the defense gives you points, that's something.
Nice. Definitely always like that, man. All right, Preacher. I'm going to finish up with a defensive tackle named Colin Saunders out of Western Illinois. Small school guy. He's 6 foot, 324. I once heard him described as the small school Aaron Donald, which is that's going out there a little bit. But
yeah, because that's a huge jump up, ain't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge jump up. But hey, you know what I mean? Hey, you'll take all the praise you can get if you're trying to build up some draft hype.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's quick and agile for his height. For his weight. He excels at slapping the hands of linemen who are trying to engage. Has an impressive ability to shoot gaps, especially the A gap, where he's able just to get in that backfield and just create havoc. Now, a couple problems he has is he has a couple condition issues, and I think that might be due to his weight. But his effort sometimes slips from the beginning of the game to the end. But you know, what I mean, that's something that can be worked on. You know, what I mean, he gets with the right defensive line coach.
Yeah, if you could,
I think they
if
can
you
work
could
on
find
that.
a good rotation for him, something like in Philly or something like that, just bringing in a rotation guy
would not be bad. I'm always a fan of these guys coming to Philly, man. Any of these guys can come here and play. But now, what he doesn't possess is long arms, which could be a problem with engaging and disengaging on the next level. He's got really, really short arms, and he's got that stubby build. So I'm worried that he gets against a guard with excellent reach that just he can't do anything about it. But if he can slap those hands and get into that gap, you never know. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan of him. He's not expected to go until like 4 to 7, so I'd take a shot on him. You know, he's got ridiculous production. He's got 10 sacks over the last 2 years from a defensive tackle. So I don't know. I like him though.
Not bad. All right, my last guy is I know I'm gonna mess up his name, just because I mess up people's names. Is Jachai Polite. Jachai Polite. I knew I was gonna mess it up. See, I called it out ahead of time. Now, he is not the best pass rusher that's coming out of this draft, because I believe Allen is, but I think this kid has a ton of great pass rushing moves. I've seen him with spin moves. I've seen him with a swim. I've seen him bull rush. I've seen him power. I've seen almost every rush that I can ask for this kid. He brings a lot more to the table than someone like Clowney did a couple years ago when he got drafted. He brings a lot more to the table than I think Sweat does. I think Sweat is just a pure power rusher / speed rusher. I think he brings so much more to the table. If you bring him into the right situation, and he's versatile because he can play the 4-3 and the 3-4. He could be that crashing linebacker if you need him to be. I think if you put him with the right team, I think he could be truly amazing. I know he had a shitty combine. I understand that his combine was complete garbage. But I don't look at combine numbers too much. I don't take that consideration when I'm drafting somebody. I look at tape more, and everyone on this kid's locker room said they absolutely trust him. They know he's going to be in the right spot. They know he's going to make a play for him. And that's when I see the tape, I see that. And I hope he brings that into the NFL because I'm speaking out highly for him. And I think he should be drafted a lot earlier than he's predicted to go undrafted or 7th round. But like I said, I'm calling it out right here. He will have, if he goes to the right situation and somebody gives him the chance to play, he will have better numbers than Sweat and Clowney did in their first year.
Damn, shots fired, man. Don't give a fuck about Combine,
Nah.
baby. Weekend hangover. What's good? Take that, Sweat. Dominating that piece. Do something on the field. I'm with you, Preach. I back your play, buddy. All right, so this has been another Weekend Hangover podcast. I'm your boy, Surf. Chilling out with the boy, Preach. Want to say bye, Preach?
Take it easy, crew.
All right, catch y'all later, man. Peace.